Hi there! In this video, I'm going to talk about the best way to learn a new skill effectively and also how you can train or coach in the most effective way while making sure that the learner has a work-life balance and the learner is always encouraged. The learner has a high self-esteem, the learner does not feel bored. So yeah, effective ways of training and learning any new skill. All right. Now, I myself, am a learner as well as a certified corporate trainer. So I'm going to give you all the techniques that we use in a reputed corporate organization to train someone. So this video will help all the learners, if they are facing difficulties in learning, or if you feel that, I find this so boring, or this is too much pressure for me. So don't do that, okay? Listen to me, hear me out till the end of the video. And for all the amazing coaches out there, I'm sure you're doing a great job already. But if you try and listen to these techniques, maybe you might be able to improve your training curriculum, to an extent wherein your learners, all your learners, feel amazing after they learn from you. So there's a lot of online content, many online coaches. Sometimes I myself get confused who to listen to, who not to listen to, how to learn. And then there are so many, tools, automated tools that help us learn. So today what I'm trying to figure out or with you guys is what is the best way to combine all these tools to get the learnings from all the online coaches and trainers who are doing an amazing job and figure out the best way for yourself. For example, if I'm learning from, let's say, different people, I don't agree with everyone's approach because I know that everybody has a curriculum and they deliver it in the best possible way. So they are doing the best they can. At the same time, I as a learner also I know that what is going to work for me and what does not work for me. How do I know all this? Because I have myself been certified as a corporate trainer, so I know how people learn and how I'm able to learn or teach better. Having said this, let me also give you a little bit of background about myself. So I started with a company called GE, which is now Genpact. And to be honest, I was, supposed to just handle calls, with American clients. And eventually I became a voice and accent trainer in that company. They trained me. And then as I progressed through my career, I learned how to, conduct corporate trainings. Now, let me tell you, corporate organizations may look very boring on the outside, but they're actually a lot of fun. The trainings that we conduct in a reputed corporate organization, I'm not saying all, but in very big reputed corporate organizations are actually a lot of fun. They encourage the employees, we have a lot of fun, we joke around, and we learn in a way which, makes even the most boring content sound like really interesting. So that's why this video. And then very recently, I also attended a lot of trainings because I'm not somebody who believes that, okay, if I know something, I should not learn more. So in the acting industry, I went and I attended a lot of trainings because that was a new skill for me. And I adjusted and adapted to the different training styles of different trainers. But I know that in a reputed corporate organization, I would have been, given the freedom to ask a lot of questions, to give my honest feedback without even naming, myself. Like in big corporate organizations, we don't have to put our names there and put our feedback. Or if I'm training someone, I will not ask that person that, hey, you put your name and then tell me what you think about how I trained. We would just, distribute random sheets and tell them how was the training, what did not work for you, because the person who's actually a learner is very important to a trainer. Whatever they tell us, it's not really judgment, it's for our improvement so that we can conduct better trainings. If one did not go well, the next one would go very well. So it goes like that. Any good corporate organization doesn't really penalize the trainer or the trainee for not being able to deliver effective results in one go. We are always there to help out each other, to encourage each other, to ensure that our self-esteem is high. And that's why the work environment is a lot of fun. Today I'll particularly take an example of learning English because I know that there are a lot of online coaches. I myself have written a book called How I Learned to Speak in English, in which I put my simple notes, which you can read and understand how to go about learning English on your own. But then the best part is, when I wrote this book at that time, I did not see too many online coaches and trainers available. These days you have so much of help online, wherein people tell you different techniques of English, and then there are tools that you can use, like AI tools. So after this video, if you're still struggling with learning English or any skill, I would say just try and combine, all of these techniques that I'm going to talk about, and then see how you can learn in the best way. And if you're a trainer or coach, maybe you can make, improvements to the way you're training, because that is actually my job as of now. I have, talk to different clients globally, whether it's an insurance client, a medical client, it could be a communication client. I tell them, if this is your training content, what is the best way to be able to deliver the training content to the learners so that they are able to grasp the maximum information. It is not about giving too much content in one go. We never believe in that. We give out very specific information and we make sure that they have fun and they learn. We don't believe in giving too much homework. We don't believe in, being extra strict. That is not how good reputed corporate organizations operate. In fact, the reason why there is discipline is because the learners and the trainers, we collaborate together. We are like a team. We work together. That okay, are we okay to follow this rule? For example, in my training, I usually request people that, hey, can you please keep your cell phones on silent mode? But sometimes what happens is, if there's a personal emergency or they have to take it, we don't go about judging them that as to why you did not do it. Or let's say if someone is not able to attend one day of training, though we want to ensure that they attend all, let's say if there's a week of training, they should attend all those days. But if someone's not able to do it, we still figure out ways on whether we can adjust them in the next training, or whether we can cope up or have someone help them out. So it's always to help the learner. And that is why a reputed corporate organizations, in that organization, employees want to perform better because they know they're taken care of. So as a trainer, it's very important for me to, know that my learners feel comfortable. I am not here as a trainer to market myself. I'm here to ensure that they are comfortable, because these days I've also noticed that when we are training, we try to record what learners are saying, we record what we are saying, just so that we tell the entire world that see how amazing the training is going on. But that's not how we have ever trained in a corporate organization, especially a reputed one. We keep it very personal, because any response that the learner gives is very personal. Sometimes they're even scared to say things. So if they say something which they don't want to disclose to anyone, so we avoid really recording them, or we even avoid recording ourselves. We only maybe sometimes click pictures at the end of the training to understand if they found it helpful, or so even the way we market those trainings, we're very sensitive to the learners reactions, because not everybody is comfortable that if you're a trainer and you want to market your training, that the learner should also be okay with it. It's not fair. It's not how big corporate organizations operate. So today I'm just going to tell you that if you ever feel uncomfortable while you are attending a training, it's all right. You should at least know what is happening with you, because I recently attended a lot of trainings where I was recorded. I'm not always comfortable being recorded when I'm actually learning. I'm okay to be recorded like now, or maybe if I'm giving an audition, for a particular role in the acting industry, or if I'm training and if somebody wants to learn and record that training, I'm okay with that. So they take my permission. But at the same time, with learners, I ensure that I ask them that if they have a question which maybe they feel is stupid, and if I record that question, they will not ask me the question again. So it's very important that when we are delivering a training, any good or effective trainer will ensure that the learners are very comfortable. We don't go into their space unnecessarily. So even as a trainer, I'm told that if a learner is not very comfortable with you just going, and staring in their notebook and seeing what notes they're making, I'll make sure I don't do that. So it's a lot of responsibility that a coach has to take. So yeah, about my background, then I've also written, so I've told you about one book, which is How I Learned to Speak in English. I also wrote a second book in a very simple language. It's called Try Being Part 1, The 100th Failure. Now this book is to really motivate people. That's okay, people tend to go through failures, but don't penalize yourself, please. Read it if it's a fun story, if you like reading sci-fi stuff and things about the universe. Okay, and I've spoken about different industries. So this, what I'm going to share with you, it actually applies to every industry, every training industry. Of course, some training industries have to be more strict than the others. So I'm not saying that all the advice that I'm giving today or all the information that I'm sharing today, you have to take it, but just try and think about what you can incorporate in your training so that your learners feel more comfortable. Because if a learner is comfortable, then they will automatically want to perform. I've also attended these trainings wherein they give examples of how I did it. I did this, I couldn't sleep because I had this personal problem, so this is why I had to push myself. Well, I understand. As corporate trainers, we avoid stating our own examples, or we avoid stating, examples of people who've always struggled, because there are the youth out there. Sometimes they come, in a very happy mood, and they're like, "Hey, I just want to learn today something in a, in the best way and with some sense of humor." So we try to balance it out. One more thing that we in reputed corporate organizations do is we talk to every learner. We don't just have them fill a form, because as a corporate organization, they are, we are investing into the employee whom we are training. So we want to make sure we understand the employee completely. Or sometimes we take feedback from their leaders. So if I'm training, let's say, a group of 20 people or 100 people, I first ask as to what is their opinion, or what they feel they're lacking, why are they not able to perform. So for me, it's very important to understand my learners first. And if, let's say, there's one training curriculum, it doesn't mean that the same approach will work for the next set of learners. It has to be very tailor-made. So sometimes when we are just delivering our trainings and saying that, okay, this is my content, this is how I deliver it, it's great. However, you also, as a trainer, you need to be open to feedback, or you need to, like, put some kind of channels there, like maybe a chat or some way where the learner can interact with you to help you understand that, hey, your way is not working for me. And then as a trainer, I wouldn't take it on myself that, okay, this is not working for this person. I would actually go back to, my leadership or with my colleagues, and I would discuss that, okay, this is also another issue we need to cater to. So that's how good corporate organizations operate. We don't pressurize the learner. The learner is the most chilled out person in the most happy zone. And we're not here to prove that we are better or they are better. We are here to work together. We don't encourage competition. What we encourage is helping out each other. So if I have to reward a learner, for doing well or for performing well, I would not reward that learner based on, hey, did you do it first? Did you complete the assignment first? I would actually reward the learner based on that, hey, how many people did you help out, together? And wow, as a team, you guys were able to perform so well. So that's the kind of culture we encourage when we talk about learning. All right, now, like I said, that how reputed corporate organizations train or coach their employees on business communication. Now, I'm going to give you the example of communication, but you can use it in any field that you like. It can be, really, if you're in the insurance industry training people, if you're training people on customer service skills, but you train those people by understanding their problems. So let's say if I had to train an employee on business communication, I'm first going to analyze where those employees are in their current state, what are the challenges they are facing, and then I'm going to understand what are the challenges customers are facing. So what are they doing wrong, or why are the customers are not happy with the way they are communicating. And then after the analysis, we would usually design kind of like put a blueprint together that, okay, this is going to be the design of the training. We have the content, things that are working well are here, things that are not working well, what can we do to improve. So we design the entire curriculum, we talk to the leadership, and figure out that can we go ahead and implement this. So once we get an approval, we try and do like a pilot batch that, okay, let's try and train them this way. If it works, then we will, evaluate at the end of the training. We'll ask for their feedback. Then we'll ask the customers that, was there any improvement? So there's this entire process of delivering a training. So let's say you're a coach, you have great content right now, but you feel that you want to, deliver it in the best possible way. Then I think what you should also do is try to talk to your learners more. Get their honest feedback. Don't tell them to put their names on those feedback sheets. Tell them to give you anonymous feedback. Understand their feedback. And then figure out that maybe in the next, your next session or your next batch, how will you deliver it differently? The content can still be the same. It's just about how you deliver it. For example, I personally had a lot of sense of humor. जैसे एक्टिंग का ले लो, मैंने इतने सारे एक्टिंग कोर्सेज किए पर अभी तक मुझे कोई काम नहीं मिला क्योंकि वो मेरे लिए एक नई इंडस्ट्री है. And people have different ways of operating, of working. I have my own style. I'm very chilled out, very bindas, and I'm also doing other things, like I'm also training and I also have a job, so I'm a little stress free there. So yeah, this is like my story as of now. I'm sure you all have amazing, beautiful stories. Some are probably doing very well. You can also teach me. Some are probably, still confused about how to go about learning. Arey, bahut boring hai. Arey, how to make it more interesting. So I say talk to more interesting trainers, who are actually here to train, who are not just here to mint money out of you. My video right now is currently it's completely free. I'll tell you how you can get in touch with me. Eventually, if you like whatever I'm saying or if you agree with it. If you don't agree, please put comments. I'll also take feedback and understand where I can improve. So, okay, some of the things that we do in reputed corporate organizations as trainers, which many trainers can incorporate in their training, in their trainings. Because I know if you're training, you definitely know the content. You feel that your approach is good. That's why you want to tell people. But I think it's very important. We as trainers, we have to be very careful about what we say. ये नहीं होना चाहिए that okay, this worked for this person, so this is going to work for you. Or this person did it like this. It doesn't work like that. Like when I was new in the acting industry, so many people were giving me examples of such successful people of how they do it. I have certain limitations wherein I have to do my job, I have to also make these videos, I have to work on myself. So that approach will not work for me. So I understood that I listened to everyone's advice, but at the end of the day, I formed what was comfortable for me, where I was also spending time with my family. I was also, figuring out how to talk to friends. I was also learning. So I tried to keep it interesting. And to be honest, sometimes it got really boring for me also because unnecessarily, when somebody puts pressure on me, I actually think twice that do I really need to take that pressure or can I do this without the pressure and still learn and still perform and still deliver and make sure that the audience is happy or the people who are training are happy. So it's okay. I mean, not everything works out always, but at the end of the day, I'm still happy. I had chai, I'm still eating well, and I'm very thankful to people who've given me a lot of advice. I'm also thankful to things sometimes that I've worked out and that have not worked out because I'm also learning. So as a corporate trainer, we in good corporate organizations, we are very humble. When we walk into a room, we don't go about showing off to learners that, hey, I'm better, I'm the trainer. No. We in fact feel very nervous and we just crack a joke saying that, please guys, be a little more comfortable and make me also comfortable. So we are very humble. When we are training, especially when I'm training someone in English, I avoid doing a lot of talking. After introducing myself, first I break the ice and I make sure that they are comfortable with me, I'm comfortable with my learners, and then I want them to talk more. Even if they're talking in incorrect English, using incorrect grammar, if the pronunciation is not correct, doesn't matter. I let them talk. I take their permission that can I correct you, and if they're not okay with it, then separately we go and talk to certain people because some people don't like being corrected in public. So we kind of take all that permission from the learners. And that's like one of the things we follow in good corporate organizations. We also believe that if a learner does most of the things, they learn best. So if I'm training someone in communication, I am going to make sure that I put them in a situation where they're talking to another person in English rather than me, they're just, like struggling or they're just listening, because only listening is very boring. So even if you find right now whatever I'm saying boring, just pause the video, come back to it. But what I'm sharing is like really interesting stuff. We don't ignore questions. I have seen in a lot of trainings where they're like, hold on to this question, अपने आप आंसर हो जाएगा थोड़े दिन बाद. ऐसा होता नहीं है. Human nature ऐसी है that अगर मुझे एक question आ जाए, if I have thought of a question and if that's not getting answered, it would keep affecting me as a learner. So what we usually do is, if somebody asks me a question and I feel that we are deviating from the curriculum or other people's times, it won't be respected. What I usually do is I write that question on the board so that I tell that person that here I've written this question. Either I answer it on the spot in a short way, or I tell them that I'm going to come back to this question after this topic. Is that okay? So that person obviously feels better that okay, my question is not ignored. So we don't ignore questions at all. We are very encouraging of questions. Even if somebody else feels that, oh my gosh, this question is so stupid, in that case we talk separately to the learner, with the learner, but we don't ignore questions. We understand personal problems of people in good corporate organizations, because if somebody is, let's say, late by 15 minutes, a lot of people, would be like, hey, this person is not disciplined. It's not always like that. We ask for the reason honestly. Even if it's as simple as, look, I was really sleepy, I couldn't wake up. Oh, okay, you couldn't wake up on time, so please do it. Try to wake up on time the next day. So, our approach is very, it's less strict. It's a very corrective approach that, hey, we understand, we empathize with that person. We don't penalize people. We reward people for being honest, for following good values. If somebody is not able to understand something, we don't force that, hey, my way is the right way. We ask them, what do you think? What is it based on your experience? And we try to have a discussion. And then we, ask for everybody else's opinion also. That's how we don't prove that you're wrong or I'm right, and so on and so forth. It doesn't work like that. Like I said, we also set ground rules, like if the cell phone has to be switched off, or if we want someone to really pay attention on a specific topic, we try and ask them that, is it okay? And if you still feel sleepy, if you're still yawning, it's all right. Just get up, shake yourself up, and then come back to the topic. So as a trainer, I won't get distracted if someone does that. I'm trained for that because it's my responsibility to train someone. So as a coach, if you feel that any of your learner is yawning, stop thinking that you are being boring. It could just be that the person is not interested in the content. They will come back on their own. And if they don't understand something, they will ask you that question. Then we don't give too much homework because already the person is in the training, and then if you just again stress them out when they go back, we avoid that. We make sure that while they're getting trained, they have the most attentive nature while they're in the classroom. Then they relax once they are out of the classroom, and if they want some extra information, or if we want them to work hard on something, we give them feedback regularly, so we write their feedback on their notebook, or like put a sticky note, so that after the training they can implement it on their own. So the responsibility is a shared responsibility, that okay, if I'm coaching you, then you also need to make sure that you implement my feedback. Only then the coaching will work. So that way we avoid penalizing people. We do give resources, like if sometimes somebody has a question which is like a one-day topic to explain, and I only have like 15 minutes, so I would give them the resources. I would tell them that, hey, read this. If you have questions, you can get in touch with me later on, or you can talk to your leader about it. So we always give that option in good corporate organizations. We are always open to feedback. We genuinely listen. We don't take offense to feedback. It's all right, because if someone, let's say, who doesn't have a lot of knowledge and has a lot of questions, and maybe that question, we may feel that okay, it's a stupid question, but we are taught not to consider any questions stupid questions, so that we can answer it in the best possible way. So there's no offense. We don't make learners uncomfortable for our own marketing, because at the end of the day, if they learn, then they'll perform, and the entire organization will benefit, and my reputation as a coach or a trainer would improve. Even when I'm a learner, if somebody is giving me feedback, if I implement it, then the coach's reputation will improve. But it's a very friendly relationship. It has to be very friendly. It cannot, yet of course, it's serious, it's work oriented. We're not saying that you suddenly become friends with a coach, but at the same time, people know each other, we always think of a win-win, that I want my coaching to be effective, you want your learning to be effective. So what's the best way we can work together? So we discuss that with the learner. The approach is always tailor-made. So today, if I am talking to you in a certain way, and let's say somebody puts a comment saying that, hey, you know what, I want a very serious curriculum in which I just want the maximum information, no sense of humor, I want it to be very strict, I will try and make that approach like that as well. I will ask that person, how do you want to be trained? So it's always a tailor-made approach. And if someone says that, no, I prefer it like this, just take it easy with me, but I still want to learn within 3 months, so then we will cut short the curriculum. It really is tailor-made approach. We don't give out too much information in one go. We care for the learners. We foster a culture of helping each other out rather than competing with each other. So even, let's say, if there's a coach, we will never be in competition with each other. We will always make sure that, hey, what are your best techniques? What's my best technique? And how can we together make a difference? So that way, both of us will get rewarded for ensuring that we both did a good job. So that's the culture that a reputed corporate organization creates. So let's say if 2 people are outstanding in their performance, they will reward both. And if there's an option that okay, they have to only reward one, they'll probably reward one as an outstanding, one as an exceptional performer. But there's no competition. It's more like you're working together as a team, and there are always rewards and recognition. So let's say if my learner, okay, if it's his or her birthday, I'll make sure I get the cake. Good reputed corporate organizations, we have a budget that if it's someone's birthday, it doesn't matter whether they are new or whether they joined yesterday. We will make sure we wish them happy birthday, we make them feel special. And if someone, let's say, answers a question that is amazing, if they have a great response, we always give a chocolate out or anything that they like, or a coupon. So there is always rewards and recognition. Bosses don't scold if something goes wrong. Like if I have, let's say, if I I'm not well on certain day, and it's a very important meeting that I have with a client and I'm not able to attend it, my bosses don't scold me. They will just make sure that I give the handover to another colleague, and that colleague is able to attend that meeting. So that way I feel very taken care of. So the next time I always ensure that I'm always available whenever there's a client meeting, I'm there for the company and the company is there for me. We avoid favoritism at all. Even if you're a great performer, we will still give importance to a person who's not able to perform. So you'd kind of team up the great performer with the performer who's not doing so well, so that together come up with a great approach. That's the creative way to work. Anyone who meets the job metrics well. So for example, let's say if I have to train 20 people and 18 of them are performing extremely well, maybe two cannot, I will be rewarded for that. But the two who have not performed, it doesn't mean that we will not take care of them. We will probably put them in the next batch, and help them out even more. So yeah, anyone who does not meet the metrics is also still helped, because at the end of the day, that person is here in the organization to work. That person also wants to earn money. So if we just help out people, they are able to perform better. So these are some of the things that we do in good corporate organizations, and I do as a corporate trainer. There's focus on teamwork. If something is boring, we acknowledge and joke around, because not everything is super interesting. For example, if I'm training someone on grammar, I myself sometimes get a little bored. I love training on pronunciation. But just because I feel that explaining too much is boring for me does not mean that I will not do it. I'll tell them that, hey, this is a slightly challenging topic. Maybe we can take more breaks. Maybe we can joke around a little bit. Or, if you're yawning, just tell me. Or if I feel sleepy, we can just take a 2-minute breather. So we work around things like that. We figure it out. And then achievements are important. We always appreciate achievements. A good coach will not make others look bad that, hey, I am the best. बाकी लोग तो अरे ऐसे ही कर रहे हैं, उनके तो देखो कहीं आगे नहीं गए ऐसे employees या उनके वो लोग. That's not the correct way. Any good coach is confident कि भैया I'll give you my best today, and even if let's say I'm not doing the best right now, I'm gonna give you my best. अब तुम मुझसे आगे सीखते हो, you will automatically spread word of mouth, and that's how I will be evaluated as a coach. So we do the best for the group we are training every time. Every time. That's why training is exciting, for most people. And I love training in person as well, or online, over like let's say a Teams meeting or a Zoom call, because I know that I can talk to people on the spot there. So right now I'm just recording a video, but I know that after the video I'll tell you how you can reach out to me, and even sometimes through a conversation you guys can improve. And also for organizations who are looking to improve their training curriculum, I'll talk about that as well. So yeah, if you are a coach or trainer and you'd like to connect with me to improve your training further, see, because just because I am talking about coaching doesn't mean that you're not doing a great job coaching. You may be doing an awesome job coaching, but if you want to collaborate, talk to me, then reach out to me. Either just put a comment on the video on my YouTube channel, or you can put a chat there, or please write to me at neetu.communicationskills@gmail.com. Just make sure that you're genuine, you don't waste your time and you don't waste my time. We respect each other's time. We can connect on a Zoom call or Teams meeting, and it'll be a paid consultation, and we can figure it out together on what works best, so that when you're training your employees or your trainees, then you can do the best possible for them. So I'm not here in cooperation with any other coach. I just want to make sure that they improve through my techniques. And if there's something that maybe I am not doing correct, I can also learn from them. So it's a win-win situation for both of us. If you're a business looking to organize trainings, and like there are many businesses. For example, in the acting industry, I know that people are teaching acting in different ways. I know they're doing it from their experience. Their curriculum is great. However, if you just add a little bit of corporate style to it, then okay, what is the best way to make my learners the best actors, for example? Because abhi kya ho raha hai, like even I have learned, I've improved my acting, but still I have no work. Corporate would have done, how corporate operates is that if you are coming to me, I've trained you, but I'll make sure that you get the work. I'll make sure you're employed. That's how corporates operate. That if we are training an employee, we make sure that they make the money also after learning from us. So in the acting industry, what I feel is that, like, I've attended a lot of trainings which have been very good for me. Uske baad, you're just left on your own. If I feel that there's more of hand holding, then your training organization will be much better. So just think about it the corporate way. I would love to connect with you and give my ideas and opinions as well, and maybe you can share with me as to what works best. So it's always a win-win situation. So nothing good or bad. It's just about working together and collaborating. If you're an individual looking to learn corporate ways of learning things, let's say aap seekh rahe ho kuch, you're looking at an online video and you're still not able to learn, or आपने कोई course join कर लिया, but still you feel that you're always feeling there's a pressure on you, or you're not able to share what you feel, you talk to me, and maybe I can ask you, I can help you out with the right kind of questions, or what is the gap. I can really have that consultation with you, or you can just simply send a message and write to me. So we are not here to backbite about anyone. We are just here to have an open communication, because I know that in many training institutes, because the pressure of teaching a particular skill is so much that sometimes it's not the trainer's fault also. They just have to complete their curriculum. But that is not, guys, how a learner learns. Any coach who's listening to me, a learner will only learn effectively if you give them the right to speak. It's okay if you're not able to complete, let's say your curriculum has 10 things, you're just able to complete 7, that's fine. Like I recently conducted a training on business communication, and I had so much content, okay, I had planned the content. But then I realized that over there, they told me that, we understand the grammar part of it, but we are having a major challenge whenever a client shouts at us. We don't know what to say. We are not able to control our feelings. And I realized that was really important to them. So I immediately on the spot changed my curriculum and I addressed that issue. I was not able to cover everything in that, the PPT slide that I had prepared for them. But what I trained them on actually helped them the maximum. They were able to perform and implement techniques, and they said, we're going to call you again. And I said, the next time I train, maybe I can cover it at that time. So that is what I'm trying to tell you. A genuine coach would make sure that I want to give the best technique so that this person is able to make money based on after however I taught this person. So even if you're taking an online course, try and connect with your coaches, give them feedback, talk to them. If you're not able to do it, talk to me. Maybe we can figure out a way, because I usually don't give online feedback because my name's there. Because honest feedback I would give if you don't put my name there. Hey Neetu, what do you genuinely think about our training? And when I give feedback, it's really not to demean anyone. So you guys really need to start giving out feedback, be more honest, but very respectful. Let's say if you like this video, you will obviously tell me in the most fun way. But if you don't like something, you don't agree with something, it's all right. You can put it there respectfully, no problem. Sometimes people just like to be very curt also, which is also fine. When you're online, you're putting content online there. I'm used to it. But yeah, the reason why I've spoken so much and did yap is so that you can pause the video, hear the things that the challenges that are involved in training and learning. Why are people not able to learn? And if you feel that, okay, you as a coach are now thinking twice that, hey, things are working for me, I'm making so much money, great, maybe you are. Maybe if you change your approach slightly, your learners or people who are learning from you will feel more comfortable making a lot of money. Like I also attended one training where they were like, you have to work these many hours, study these many hours, create content for these many hours, and then you'll be able to make, let's say, crores and so on and so forth. I was like, I need to have fun too. I need to, have time for exercise. I need to dance. I need to learn new things. I need to do acting. I need to do a lot of things. I can't just, put my brain into one thing only and forget my hobbies. So you have to be very balanced, guys, as a learner. Because if you feel like for 1 month I'm not going to exercise at all, that's not going to help you. You have to have a very balanced approach. Exercise, have fun, eat, spend time with family and friends, and learn. So, that way you will yourself form a schedule. For example, I have specially taken out a lot of time for this video today, but at the same time, I'm still going to go have fun and enjoy myself, and I'll put up the next video when a great idea comes to my mind. But at the same time, I will be scheduled about it. So that's something I'm forming for myself, because I've learned from coaches who have told me to develop my own schedule and to ensure that I deliver results, I work, and at the same time, I have a work-life balance. Please focus on that. Even if you're learning, let's say you're in school, you're in college, you're learning after, let's say 40, you're learning at the age of 30, it's great. You're teaching at a very late age, awesome. But always encourage a culture where people are relaxed, because only when your mind is relaxed, you can learn in the most effective way, or you can teach in the most effective way. So that's why I'm totally against extremely stressful techniques of teaching. It has to be balanced. And if somebody is not able to follow the rules that, okay yaar, koi baat nahi, cell phone bach gaya training ke andar, ya fir somebody got late more than 5 times, it's all right. At least when that person is there in the class, whatever that person learns would be the most effective. So let's not judge anyone who is learning, or let's not judge your trainers. Let's just collaborate with each other. It'll be a much, much better environment. That's exactly how good leaders, good corporate organizations, they work, they operate, they function, and that's why they're able to make a lot of money. The employees are happier. Even if we are doing the most boring job, as soon as it's break time, we're always celebrating with tea, or with some kind of food or jokes. That's the culture that's encouraged. Even the bosses, the most strict bosses, would come and laugh around. So yeah, for today I think this is all about coaching, learning. If you have more questions about learning English or about training or coaching, I'm happy to collaborate with you. If you consult with me online, it'll be a paid session. If you just put a comment and you just want basic guidance, I can always put my put a response there. But if it's something lengthy, you tell me what to make a video on. So if you want to you want me to make free content, then just tell me what you want me to make content on. And if you want to talk to me, and I'll have a very nominal fee of discussing things with you in person, we can even talk like that. So you guys take care, keep enjoying, keep learning, and have a passion to do things, even if it's a corporate job. Because sometimes we feel, oh my god, it's a corporate job, I've done it for so long. Well, that can be made very interesting as well. Because you should, if you look at the positive side, that hey, I'm making regular money, and I'm still going out having fun. And let's say if you're somebody, like for example, in the acting industry, I was not very happy that I didn't get a lot of work, but it's okay. It's fine. Someday I will get it. Or I'm looking at the positive side of it, that it gave me an idea to make this video. So look at the positive and have a good high self-esteem. That's very important. And please don't put down other people that my way is the highway. If I live like this is my opinion. Great. But please encourage positive opinions, positivity. किसी और को छोटा दिखा के आप बड़े कभी नहीं बन सकते हो. अगर आपको बड़ा बनना है, या फिर अगर आपको वैसे ही रहना है, आपको खुश रहना है, तो you be happy and content and let others do their thing as well. वो जो कर रहे हैं वो उनके लिए सही है. So that's how I train and that's how I learn. Well, you guys take care. Bye bye.